Yo, what's up, guys? Me, Juan Pablo from 100% Finance at 100%Finance.com. Mr. Cash Flow, Mr. Passive Income, the people's mentor workout you need to see. So speaking of the people's mentor, right? Talking to my young cousin right here who's holding the camera, and he wanted me to bring back to life that conversation we had a few months ago. You know, just from a mentorship standpoint, right? And he was asking me about, well, I was telling him actually that there's a difference between being a student and a professional, right? So for you guys who are aspiring to be business persons, real estate investors, entrepreneurs, don't think you can get away without being a professional. You have to be a professional no matter if you're an employee or an entrepreneur. So I was telling him there's a difference between being a student and a professional. Case in point, when I was a student in college, I would call off of work. If I had a job on my spare time, I would call off because I was up too late drinking and having a good time and I overslept. So I would call off saying I'm sick, but really I had a hangover, right? Or I would be late because, I might have school, just got out the test, and say, I was just late. Then it'll come to the point where my employer will fire me. I said, okay, who cares? I get another job at the mall. I get another job as being a telemarketer. I get another job somewhere else. But the key thing to think about that y'all want to focus and emphasize is that I can always get another job elsewhere. Yes, even if you're a business person, you can always get other jobs elsewhere, right? But there's a difference in how you present yourself as a professional. So once I graduated college and I got my first job working for the government, all that calling out, showing up late, calling out sick, and not really focusing on the task at hand, sending text messages while I'm working, looking at YouTube videos while I'm working. No, all that stuff had to be done and over with. Like it says in the Bible, right? When I was a child, I acted as a child. But when I became a man, I had to throw away childish things. So when I became a professional, I had to throw away those childish things I used to do, and I had to present myself in a respectable manner. I had to be a person of my word, be a person of character, show up even when I didn't feel like it, and be attentive to the task at hand, and not allow my attention to be diverted to other things. Being able to focus so that my employer will get their money's worth. But now that you're an entrepreneur, a business person, and a real estate investor, you still need to treat your career as a professional would. You still have to dress a certain way. You still have to carry yourself in a certain manner. You still have to exude certain characteristics that you're a person that anybody would want to do business with. And that's what I was telling him, because in his case, he's currently in school, but he took some time off to work with me on some projects. And he still had the remnants of a student, like, okay, well, I'll call off or I'll show up a little bit late. And especially, it's my cousin, maybe I can get away with this and that. And I'm not talking about him behind his back. He's still got a hole in the camera, so he's right here, right? But I'm just being very transparent. But I told him, I said, hey, once you chose to be a professional and not a student, people are going to have high expectations of you. We expect and demand for you to treat this as a professional would. So all the luxuries that come with being a student are now gone. Now it's time for you to show up on time or show up early for everything. Now it's time for you to always be prepared. When someone provides or assigns you a task, we expect you to have it done in a lot of time frame. You have to meet your deadlines, and if you're unable to meet them, let's say you have a lack of resources or a lack of time, you need to communicate that to your superiors. You need to let us know beforehand and not after the fact, not being reactive where I say, yo, Ghost, what happened, man? You're supposed to have it. Oh, what happened? No, you should always be proactive, not reactive. You get what I'm saying? So I had to tell him about that. Like, people are treating you differently. And I'm telling you guys this because you might be an employee and you're used to having someone tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. You're used to having an instruction manual. You're used to someone dictating your time. But as an entrepreneur, you have to treat your business as a professional would. And don't think like, oh, well, if this customer's not satisfied, who cares? I find another customer or I find another vendor. No. If you are the root cause because you're always late on fulfilling your orders, if you're the root cause because you don't deliver on the quality of the product like your client pays you to do, and you just say, oh, I just found someone else. No, it's you. If you don't step up your game and treat your business as a professional, then you will soon go out of business. And I had to realize that, and I had to tell him that, because one case in point, and I end with this. I do the day with Juan Pablo in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we were on tour, and for some odd reason I was sick as a dog. And I was doing a tour, I'm the presenter. Hey, look at this building. Hey, let me tell you about the story with this property. Let me share with you the numbers. So I'm doing that. I'm also driving. So while I'm driving, people in the van are asking me questions left and right, and I have to pay attention to the GPS and communicate with the other drivers. Hey, we got to go here next, here that. So I'm just multitasking all over, right? So I was doing a lot of work, and I was sick. But I had to tell them, as a professional, I still had to show up and perform despite how I felt. Sure, I could have canceled, but that would be unprofessional for me to do something like that. For me to cancel, even though I was sick, and it was warranted, but I can't do that if I had people who travel from LA, from New York, from Atlanta just to see me and the properties. So I had to share with him, and he was there. Despite how you feel, you have to treat everything you do as a professional. People can care less about you being sick. They'll say, hey, I want my money's worth. You need to perform. So likewise, if people are willing to trade their hard-earned cash for the value that you have to contribute in the marketplace, you better show up and deliver just like a professional would. So I advise all you guys who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, employees, be a professional. Yeah, you can get away with calling off sick at your day job, but not when you're a business person. You have to show up and perform every single time. All right, guys, I'm Juan Pablo. As always, to your success, continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.